I'm a fan of horror games, my favorites being the classic Silent Hill and Resident Evil, but I haven't found anything in recent years that scared me more than Duskers. Duskers is I don't really know how to classify it. Is it a strategy game? That's what it says online. Is it exploration and survival? I guess it's a lot of things, but fundamentally to me, it's a horror game. The game puts you into a procedurally generated universe where each system has a cluster of derelict ships. You're a drone operator and your job is to board and explore these ships with your drones, controlling them from your console from afar, exploring for resources and looking for information on what happened. The story isn't something I ever really paid attention to, which is not to say that it's bad. I'm just way more into the gameplay. I'm pretty confident that there is actually a cool story going on here, but I want to talk to you about how it plays. The boot up screen immediately sets a cool tone, like you're booting up one of those clunky computers from 1979's Alien. Now, if you're gonna play this game, you absolutely have to play the tutorial. Do not just jump right in. With that said, we're gonna jump right in. The first thing you'll notice is that your mouse is useless. You can't click anything. You have to navigate the menu with your keyboard. The entire game is controlled by the keyboard. After some intro text, we're put into our first system, and the background ambience immediately instills the feeling that we're alone out here. And you can see that we're hovering right over a ship called Coda. In the ship info to the side, we see the infestation types. That tells us how many kinds of enemies we're dealing with. The first ship says 1, so that's good to start. At the top of the screen, we can configure our drones, and that's what we're gonna do. We press D. 3 drones, Marvin, Hal, and Mouse. No, that's no good. How about we rename them? Mo, Larry, and Curly. All the drones have abilities. Mo has Lure and Gather. Larry has Generator. Curly has Tow and a motion detector. Mo is going to be my main exploration drone. After all, Mo is the leader. So I'm going to give the motion detector to him. And I'll give the lure to Curly, so he can lure enemies away in the event that we need him for a rescue later. The drones are all configured, and now we're ready to board our first ship. This is the schematics view. It's an overhead view of the map. Pressing the spacebar, I get a perspective of drone 1, Mo, and I can move him around with the arrow keys. I press 2 for drone 2, Larry, and 3 for drone 3, Curly. There's a door here marked A1. That's the airlock we have to open to enter the ship. I type A1 in the console and it opens. Type it again, it closes. I can do this from the drone view or the schematics view. I'm going to navigate Mo into the first room with the arrow keys, where we discover a power generator. Moving down into another room, there's nothing to see. Switching to Larry, we remember that he has the generator, so we move him to room 2 with the arrow keys, and then we type generator into the console to power up the ship. But that's not how you're supposed to play Duskers. Instead, we're going to take him back to room 1 and try this again, and we're going to program that movement into the console. We type navigate drone 2 to room 2, and then he goes on his own. But we can do more than that. Let's drive Larry back to room 1 once again, and let's try to string several commands together. Navigate drone 2 to room 2, semicolon, generator drone 2. Isn't that cool? He just goes on his own and connects. You can command more than one drone in one command line. We can do navigate drone 2 to room 2, semicolon, generator drone 2, semicolon, navigate drone 3 to room 3. Now we have 2 drones following 2 different series of commands in one line of code. Now that we're positioned, I'm going to move Mo up to room 2 and activate his motion detector, which checks any room to my side. Rooms with a green scan are clear of enemies. Rooms with yellow scans are inconclusive. There might be an enemy in there, maybe an alien, maybe an enemy drone. Looking at this map, there's only one way to go. It's through door 3. But what if it's not safe behind that door? Instead, I'm going to put Mo back in room 1, and Curly can join him. And if we input dock airlock 2, we can move the dropship from here to the A2 airlock above. Now our dropship is on the upper side of the map. I trigger the motion detector and room 5 is clear, so we move in. We check the motion detector from here and we have a hit. Room 4 contains a threat. I don't want him wandering around, so I close door 9 to lock him in for now. Open door 8 and send in Curly to see what's on the left side. We have another power generator, but only one drone has the generator power right now, so I'd have to move Larry over there if I want to access that part of the ship. The map situation on this ship is really awkward, and I really need to know what's up with room 6. Is there an enemy in there or not? So I peek my head in carefully. I type D5 to open the door, and then immediately type D5 again. Just in case I need to shut the door quickly, I only have to press enter. Wow, that was close. I got really lucky that he didn't make it through that door. I type flag room 6 and flag room 4 so I remember where the enemies are. I open up door 19 to lure the enemy out of room 4. He moves and I shut the door behind him. Now I can access this hallway. We discover a ship upgrade here, but it's busted, so we can't collect it. I unflag room 4 because it's safe now. I have an idea to blow an enemy out of the airlock, so I close door 8 and door 17 and dock the dropship back to airlock 1. I open door 5 and the enemy enters the room. I lock him in by closing door 5 and open the airlock to blow his ass into space. But you need to close that airlock quick or you'll get radiation all over the place like this. Room 6 is now clear, so we're going to check it out. There's nothing of interest inside, and there's an air vent in here which is dangerous because some enemies can come through this, so we don't want to stay long. Now I'm going to open the center hallway doors and lure the enemy into room 5. And then we blow him into space too. I feel a bit more confident about exploring now because I've killed 2 enemies, so I'm gonna head down. Still gotta be cautious though. There's a long hallway with another power generator and some fuel for my ship. There's also another ship upgrade, but it's permanently installed, so I can't move it. I'm gonna bring Larry here and use the generator. Now we have access to a whole new part of the ship. Let's bring Curly down here too. Let's run a motion detector. There's an enemy in room 12, but I'm gonna lure him into room 3 with that defense gun and lock him in. We don't have a way to activate that gun though. Let's check out the rest of the ship. Hey, what's that? Another drone. Nathan. Nathan has the interface ability on him, so we're gonna take that and give it to Mo. We take Mo up to the computer terminal in the long hallway and type interface into the console. Now we can type defense to activate the defense turret. The enemy in room 3 is instantly killed. Now we need to rescue Nathan. I'm going to take Curly down to him and type tow into the console, because he has the tow ability. And then I type navigate to room 1 and stop towing when he gets there. And off they go. There's still a little more exploring to do before we go, so I decide to play a little risky, opening the doors on the left without knowing if it's safe. I sneak up and type the door numbers into the console in case I need to close it. and there's nothing in this room, so looking at the map, I've checked every room, so it's time to go. I type end into the console, and all the drones go back to room 1. Larry discovered some scrap material on his way back, so I collect that with Mo before we leave. Everyone is packed in, and we type exit to end the mission. When we return to the menu, we see that Nathan has joined our team, but he has no health. We could restore his health, but instead we're going to sell him for scrap, raising our scrap level to 16. And now we can spend all that scrap on upgrading the speed of our drones. Now all of them move 35% faster, which makes a huge difference. I'm heading down to this ship here, and now that we know how the game works, let's see how another mission plays out. Take Mo through the airlock, and we tell Larry to come up and power up the generator. Motion detector, and we have a couple clear rooms. But someone comes into the room on the right. There must be an open door somewhere, or maybe an air vent. Let's bring Curly up here to be in the middle of the ship. And take Mo into this room to inspect. We found some fuel, so we gather it. Motion detector says this upper room on the right is inconclusive. So I'm gonna open door 8 and door 9 and close door 18. Move Mo into this center hallway and wait for any possible alien to enter room 5. Nothing enters that room, so room 7 is probably safe. We're gonna send Curly to check it out. And we have a new power generator. I'm gonna send Larry up there to power up that part of the ship. Room 9 on the right is clear, so I'm sending in Mo. Activate motion sensor, and now we see the enemy moving between rooms. I lock him in room 10. I send Curly into room 11 to check it out. Nothing inside. I still want to check out this room with the enemy though, room 10. So I open door 12 and I let him wander up. Room 10 is now clear, so let's go in. I take a moment to gather myself. That scared the hell out of me. Looking at the map and wondering what happened, I deduced that even though the motion detector said room 10 was clear, door 14 was open. There must have been an enemy in room 8 who crossed into room 10 right as I was coming in. Maybe something else happened, but I think that was it. So I locked door 14 to trap him in room 10, and move Mo all the way down to room 8 by the airlock. I'm gonna dock the dropship to airlock 3 at the top. And now I'm luring the enemy into this hallway. I take Mo up a level and trigger the motion detector, and I see that room 10 is now clear. I open the A2 airlock and blow out the enemy. Entering the room cautiously, I find a drone to be rescued and some scrap to gather. Call Curly to this room to pick up the drone and tell everyone else to meet by the dropship. And now we're ready to get out. Duskers is a really unique game. It's for a certain kind of person. I remember learning HTML code back in the late 90s and designing web pages, so there's a part of me that likes typing code a lot. This game fascinates me. It's a really immersive experience, and it leads to some truly terrifying moments. I've screamed in terror playing Duskers more than any other game I've played. When something pops out and takes out one of your drones, and it starts coming through open doors to ambush your team, you start panicking, typing navigation commands that don't go through because there's a typo. You type close door 33, but you accidentally type door 34 and let in another enemy. Then your generator drone gets killed and now you can't open or close any doors. Things can go south real fast. And when a drone dies, it's dead. You need to send your towing drone to pick it up and bring it back to your dropship so you can repair it after the mission. But sometimes that's really hard to do when there are enemies in the room, and you're faced with the horrible decision of leaving a drone behind. And if you lose it forever, upgrades and all. It's pretty hardcore, but it makes you take the game so much more seriously. I've never made it to the end of Duskers. I don't even know if there is an ending. I usually just open it for a few hours here and there and then put it down. But it's a very special game, and if there's a programmer in you, you should check it out. Highly recommended if you can handle it. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more fun indie showcases like this. Check out my recent review of the It remake while you're here, and I'm gonna start streaming some more on Twitch so you can find me there, and I'll see you soon.